as I do them, so I can draw attention to things I'm doing, but make it a more successful level 2 lesson.
We like you who you are anyway.
There you go. And oh, there was another thing. So on the exam as well, you won't really get to watch people and do the first hole, of that whole part hole. You've probably been riding with them all already, like some warm-up laps, and you would have got the, you know, the instructor on course would have demonstrated some teachers before they asked you to do them. So you'd have had time to ride with people. So it'd be like, Alex, help us reduce chatter in our short turns on steep terrain. And you'd be like, sweet, okay guys, I've been watching us ride, and I feel like I've got something that can really help us out with it. You know what I mean? Like, you've already seen them ride, so it's not a case of, let me watch you. Okay, now I've got an idea. You should already have an idea. You've ridden with people for a few days. So you go straight into the first part and then that second hole. So on that, what was it? Balance along the working edge and timing and coordination.
Yeah.
And we want to reduce chatter, right?
Short turns.
Yeah, sweet. So I've been, you know, I've seen us do short turns. We're doing some pretty good short turns. And you know, we do find that chatter every now and again when the speed gets, the terrain gets a little bit steep, right? Or when we pick up a little bit of speed down the fall line. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to revisit that moving vertically from quick ride, and we've kind of been focusing on doing it kind of at the end of our turn, right? We move down at the end, and as we move down, we get lower to our edge, and as we move down and bend our knees, we're able to balance on the edge a little bit more because we've got more stability because we're in a lower position, and that helps us be able to get the board back across the hill into our next turn. So what we're going to do now is start thinking about getting lower a little bit earlier in the turn, getting a little bit more balance on top of that edge, really helping get us at helping us to engage that edge as we come out the turn, and that's going to allow us to steer the board out the turn a little bit more without succumbing to that chatter as well. So we're just going to move down a little bit earlier, get right on top of that edge rather than relying on leaning over too much. And that's going to help us steer the board across the hill and avoid that chatter, all being enabled by getting low early in the turn. That makes sense? So down here, let's just think about that. We're just going to move down across, move across the hill, and as we start to move onto our edge and start to turn the board, we're going to move down there. So I'm going to demonstrate here. I just want you to watch when I move down on each turn. Let's try and replicate that. So as I go down here, just take a watch, just follow the ridge line, kind of down towards the bottom of the chairlift there. So as you can see, so 1, 2, 3, 4 chairlift holes. In fact, you know what? 1, 2, third chairlift hole. Let's go to that. Have a look at this. Good. We're going to change up a few things. We'll get over there in a second. What did I say to remember? More. Okay, so use more movement on the heeler side especially.
Yeah.
So try and create more of that range of movement. Do it a little bit quicker. Think about a quicker movement, because a quicker movement is going to weight the board more. And if you're able to use a greater range, again, you're going to get even more weight. Right? So that'll really help you get grip on that edge, push the edge into the ground, and reduce that chatter quite a lot. What did I say for yourself? Edge. So think about changing onto the new edge.
Yeah.
And that's when you move down. So think edge, and then move down.
Okay.
Because there was a little bit of like a turn and moving down as the edge changes. So think about changing that edge and then moving down.
Okay.
Sweet. Josie, kind of a similar thing actually, but kind of similar as well. On the heel side for yourself, try to see if you can move a little bit quicker downwards. And then, to be honest, same thing as well, Alex.
Yeah.
And then same thing
thing,
here,
what,
but I'd say
changing
more the toe side rather than the heel side. Heel side, you're moving very nicely down onto the board.
Yep.
On the toe side, I think there's a little bit more range to find. So we're just going to move on over to the other side of the chairlift pod. We're going to move into some more medium radius turns.
Sorry, what was my feedback? Changing edge and then bending?
Yeah, but when you bend, move down a little bit quicker. As we move quicker, imagine if you stand on the scales, as you move down quicker, you see a greater weight increase.
Okay.
This is a short turn, so we can be quick with our movements, right? Just boost on over to the other side of the chairlift pole here, get onto the groomer where it's more applicable. Oh, that was close.
That would have been good. I'm in. Oh, I can't get up. Ah. Already in this lesson, have you noticed I've given some feedback? I'm using a vertical move, but it's kind of a pressure teach because it's the best way to kind of get rid of chatter. What are some ways I'm relating this to timing and coordination already? When you bend, you're saying change the edge and then bend.
Yep, so it's talking about the timing of the movement, right? So let's make sure the sequence, it's more the coordination. The edge change happening first, then we're moving down. So we're coordinating movements together. What was another thing that kind of relates it to timing, coordination? The other thing's more towards the timing side of things. Kind of. That's what Alex said. It's definitely a point. But what was some of the feedback? Move down
Quicker.
So don't make it a drawn out movement. Move down quite quick. So it's a timing thing, right? Let's do a movement faster. So what we're going to do now, again, to play with timing and coordination, is we're going to do some medium radius turns just to make the coordination and the timing a little bit easier. We're going to think about edge, and then we're going to move down quite quickly. And by doing that, we should feel quite a lot of grip. It should, you know, help get rid of chatter, really help us get balanced on our edge because we're lower in a more stable position, and then steer the board back across the hill afterwards. Yeah.
So I can see how you're you're making the timing and coordination easier to coordinate. It's a bigger turn.
Yep.
And you can take that timing and apply it to a smaller turn. It's like a progression, right?
Exactly, right? So I've already got the rest of my lesson set out. I've laid it out now, so it's pretty easy. I've brought us over to some easier terrain, and you know, don't get me wrong, you would have started from the top of the lift and took the easy terrain all the way down, right? So you could have talked about, you know, the movement, had a little watch, give some feedback, then set some more criteria of like, right, let's do it in some medium turns, but now we've all got feedback, you know when, and we know we're going to move down quicker. After we've done that, I can be like, sweet, this is looking good. Let's put this back into our riding and do some short turns. Then I'll put it back in the hole again. Then I can have another look. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But let's try this on the way down here. Medium-ish turns. We're going to change edge, but then we're going to move down quite quickly. Watch me try this.
So when you say medium turn, sorry. You say that we're doing medium turns on purpose? and
the
you've got
end.
grip for it. It was good.
Okay, good. I feel like at the end it was better, where it was less steep.
Yeah.
Josie and I were saying it's hard to bend on your toe edge.
Yeah.
But you were super bendy.
Nice. Awesome. So I think everyone's kind of moving in a better way now, just thinking about moving down quicker and after that edge change. After the edge change. So change that edge, then move down quite quickly.
Okay.
And again, the quicker we move down, the more kind of weight we create under our feet.
And when do we come back up?
As you finish the turn, that's
Yeah.
when we can stand up, so we're ready to move down again into that next turn.
Okay.
So
like it also
try
helps you.
doing this, and what we're going to do is we're going to take these medium turns, shrink them up a little bit into short turns. To help us do this, we're still going to think about moving down quickly to help us get over that edge and you know, create that grip we need. But we're going to think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to help us set a rhythm of getting a shorter radius turn. So let's go down this next section and we'll do that. So, nice squeeze on both of those. Follow me down, just like a quick switch in here.
We're going to be touching more than try to get to this too. I just got better than that round.
That was kind of one lesson. We can do that here, and we might do anyway. But it's enough time here for me to do another lesson using this terrain. That was probably about 15 minutes, and obviously we lost a little bit of height because the side hit in front. But I'll just do what I said, and then that would be my 20 minutes done, right? But right here, we've got the option to do another one real quick. So let's pick a...
So we're not going to practice our short turns?
We can do, for sure,
Okay.
because this is probably where you'll do your short turns.
Yeah, I can
For level 2. This run here is a pretty good thing for that. I'll double check that with Dane, but I'm pretty sure here is kind of a good place for short turns at level 2. So what we can do, help us control speed on steeper slopes. That's kind of a good one if we want to still practice short turns. You guys keen for that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get a skill and a competency.
I think I need that next one though, eventually.
Turning with the lower body.
Turning with the lower body, this is perfect for helping to reduce speed on steeper terrain. Edge control, that's not a competency, bro.
Oh, another competency.
No, do you just mean edge?
Yeah, because I'm going to crash it.
Edging. Okay. Give me set a timer so I know I'm about right on time.
They knew what they were doing.
So what's this? Turning with the lower body, edge, and helping reduce our speed on steeper terrain, right? Right, let's start the timer. Okay guys, so gonna help us reduce speed or help us control speed on steeper terrain. I've been watching us ride, and I think I've got something that's really gonna help us out. So we're going to go through this idea of being able to steer the board a little bit more effectively by engaging the edge a little bit more. As we get more edge, we can tighten up our turning radius, right? So we're going to think of a few ways that we can help increase our edge angle, more so on the heel side, because toe side we can get a lot of edge angle, right? We mostly find it hard to control speed sometimes when we're turning around onto the heels. So we're going to think about some ways that we can increase the edge angle turning onto the heels. Now, one way I like to do this, and if you all kind of, you've got a flat spot, I'll explain it quick. If I'm on my heel edge and I'm going through my turn, as I get low and I start pulling my knees, you can even see there what happens to the toe of my front foot. Starts lifting, right? So as we kind of do this steering motion and we start pushing our knees in that direction,
As I push my knee that way, it actually pulls my toe. I really need this tree. As I push my knee in that direction, it increases the edge angle. So as we use our knees for steering, it increases that edge, helps us steer the board back across the hill. And this is what's really going to help us control that speed. Normally speed is a result of the board staying a little bit open sometimes. One edge maybe more so than the other. One edge we can easily close off, usually that toe side. Heel side tends to stay open a little bit more. So let's think about using this knee steering idea, and we're going to steer, and we're actually going to steer the board back up the hill just a little bit. Just a little bit. Make sense? See if you can feel this knee steering idea. I'm going to go down about halfway on the right. Right down to me. I'm going to give a little demonstration and then just give it a try. I'll give some feedback if I see any. Any questions? Yeah?
No, it's not doing a thumbs up.
Oh, fair enough. So already before I go down and do this, already set that up pretty nicely, right? Already if the evaluator was here, he's like, okay, he's explained how this movement is using the edge. And again, like edge is probably a harder skill to relate this to, but it does relate. I can get more edge angle through steering movements at the lower joint. So I've already hit the nail on the head of, right, steering creates edge angle. Starting with the lower body, edging, done already. Competency and skills already there. Yeah.
Is the examiner going to, or whatever they ask for, going to give us the competencies and the skills?
Completely up to you what you do.
Okay.
You can use your own drills, your own skills, your own core competency, and your, you develop what you feel is best. This is why I love the level 2. I think this is why it becomes more fun, because you get freedom in teaching. You can teach whatever you want, as long as it makes sense. You've delivered it in a clear way, and it does deliver the outcome desired. That's the only thing they will give you. They just say, "Hey Josie, help us hold an edge better on blue terrain while we're carving." It's up to you from there on. Pick your own competency, your own skill.
And you have to take that. You do have to take that.
At the end of the lesson, it'll be a case of, hey Kieran, what skill do you reckon Josie was working on? It may be a discussion like that. And it'll be a case of, was it obvious to other people what you were doing, what you were developing? What do you reckon was her competency? So being clever with your words and trying to draw a line to clearly show the skill and the competency you're working on, that's the trick to it pretty much. Yeah, if you're at the top of the run, you're on the top of the lift, like, okay, help us reduce our speed and steeps. Okay, okay guys, we're going to go to Paradise. So yeah, so it's a little bit more, involved in the level 1 now, because instantly you're choosing the terrain. You're choosing how far to move down the hill, because you don't want to run out of terrain. At the same time, you need to make sure that training cycle is being followed of let them practice it, give some feedback, let them practice it some more, and also using that whole of, right, we're going to pick this little part, and then at the end, like, let's just put this in our riding and see if it's helped us. Make sense? Great. Anyway, I'm going to demonstrate this down towards where I said. Just stop where I stopped. If you can't see, feel free to stand up and move out a little bit. Watch up into my head. Just watch for my knees and how I steer. I get the board back up the hill just a little bit.
that's toe. Okay.
Yeah. So on my heel, and this is something I should have brought up right at the very beginning, to be honest, so well picked up. As I turn onto my heel edge, I mean, we got to pretend, right? People at this level, they've never done this before. I know we've used this for you guys training early weeks, but this is a level 2 lesson where you're teaching a novice. It's the first time we've ever been introduced to knee steering. Possibly. So on the heel edge, I'm pushing my knees towards the heel edge of the front of my board.
Towards the heel edge of the front of your board. Got
Kind
you.
of that direction, right?
Kind of
As
diagonal.
I'm on the toe side, think about the toe side edge of the tail of my board.
Toe side edge of the tail.
Move your knees in that direction.
So here and then here.
That's it. So that one on the heel side, that one on the toe side.
Got ya.
Make a little bit more sense?
Yeah.
Nice. And Jack, Kieran, and Alex as well, as you were coming down there, coming down very slow.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that good or bad?
We want to reduce our speed on steeps,
Oh,
right?
that's good.
Yeah. So why do you think we come down there quite slow? What did we do that have
We're
enabled us to
increasing
brush up that
edge
speed?
pressure.
Pardon?
We're increasing edge pressure.
You're turning the board up the hill, so you lose your
We're
speed.
brushing speed off by riding the board back up the hill just a little bit, right? So let's increase the difficulty of this a little bit and challenge ourselves. I got a little bit of feedback, Jason. A little bit more clarity on turning onto the side. We're doing it pretty well, to be honest. Let's increase the difficulty, and we're going to try and do some medium to larger reading tests. And we're going to think about steering the board back up the hill as a means of slowing ourselves down before we go into that next turn again.
But in a bigger turn.
Yeah, just because that generates more speed, right? Here's not steep. So let's replicate a steep slope just by traveling a little bit faster and using this method of steering up the hill to slow ourselves down.
Yep.